Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome back to me drawing every day for a year. This is week number 44. Wow, 8 more weeks and then the year is up. I can't believe how quickly this year has gone by. And I'm glad I'm still sticking with this project. So let's get into it. The first spread is the activity room in the hospital where my dad was staying. Good news, my dad is out of the hospital. He's doing a lot better. So this is a nice memory of that. Well, not a nice memory, but it is a memory of the time that my dad spent at the hospital. And when I look back at this particular sketchbook and this section of sketchbook, I'll remember that time. So this is the activity room. Like I said, for this week, I was consciously trying to draw things in perspective, environments in perspective. And it just so happened there was I had a bit of time while I was sitting with my dad, and I just took a walk and wanted to draw this activity room. It was different from just drawing my dad, so that's part of the reason why I drew it. And fortunately for me, there was someone else in the activity room, and so I put those two together and produced this drawing. I really like how the chairs turned out, actually. That's probably the best part for me in this drawing. Another Achilles heel for me are drawing circles in perspective. So this whole spread was just that, practicing circles in perspective, specifically in real life. Where do you find circles in perspective? For me, it's cans and cups. So that's what I did. And the other thing I like about this spread is the different uses of medium, fountain pen versus ballpoint pen. I like that contrast there. This next drawing was done at the welding school that I'm currently enrolled at. This is the lunchroom. Another perspective drawing, or exercise in perspective drawing for me right now. And to me, I look at this and it's a competent drawing, but it's a lifeless drawing. I think I'm still choking up on the fountain pen when I use it. I'm still tight. The lines are tight. Everything's a bit more precise than when I draw a person, for example. So that's something I have to work on. But for me right now, it's about getting the perspective accurately. So I think that's a trade-off. I need to have tight drawings right now to get it accurate. And then once I'm confident with my hand-eye coordination and getting things right without measuring every line, every object, I could loosen up, I think. So that is the trade-off I'm working with right now. Getting something accurate but tight, but then down the road, I think I will become looser as I gain more confidence in my hand-eye coordination. So this ends the drawings in my big sketchbook. So let's move on to my small sketchbook. Right there. Let me try to zoom in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So some people gravitate towards drawing landscapes, still lives, objects. I gravitate towards drawing people. To me, when I started on this artistic path, in my mind, you had to draw people to be considered an artist. So I think I've just been stuck in that mode for the last, I guess it's been 12 years now. And I find that I'm getting looser, improving on it, improving my eye-hand coordination, and I'm not too worried about not getting it right, because I think I'm pretty good at proportions right now when it comes to people. So these two gentlemen were on the bus platform waiting for a bus, and then this particular gentleman was on his phone at Tim Hortons. That same gentleman left, who was on his phone at Tim Hortons, and I still had some time, so I drew what was in front of me. That is my ongoing motto. Draw whatever is in front of you if you don't know what to draw. So this particular gentleman was on his cell phone, and then when he left, this couple sat down at the two tables over, and so I just combined the two scenarios together to produce this drawing. I'm still working on how do you cover a large area like this shadowed portion of his jacket in ballpoint pen in a aesthetically pleasing way. That to me is not pleasing. It's just a random bunch of cross-hatching. So that's still something on my mind when I'm filling out large areas of one color. So I'm sort of trying different things to try to cover large areas with ballpoint pen. This next drawing is my coworker Yanni. This was over lunch break. I caught him towards the tail end of his lunch break, so it was about 15 minutes worth of drawing there. I realized just drawing all my different coworkers over this past year that I draw some coworkers better than others, and I think for me it's I have a better connection with those people, and I don't want to say care about those people more, but let's leave it at I have a better connection with those people, and that translates into my drawing. And I think I have a better connection with Yanni, for example, than say Taylor, who I've drawn a few times. Not that I have anything against Taylor, but I just work closer to with Yanni than I do with Taylor, so I know him better. More subway drawing, girl on her cell phone. Not to sound doomsdayish, but the smartphone will be the downfall of society because everybody's just nailed and concentrated on their cell phone. But that's an upside for me. Situations like this, they're sitting still, nose in their smartphone, and I get to draw them. So I guess that's the one upside of smartphone technology. I visited my family this past weekend. This is my nephew. He's definitely getting older, physically changing, emotionally changing, mentally changing, and it was nice to draw him. I think I'm getting better drawing him because I'm seeing him more often these days, and I'm getting more connected to him, so that's a nice thing. And this is his dad, Adam, and yeah, it's just a nice simple spread of family. This next drawing was done when I was coming home from my family visit yesterday on the subway. I drew this particular gentleman in profile. What jumped out to me immediately was his nose. People are very unique looking, and some have very unique characteristics more so than others, and this guy had a great nose, so I was like, I'm going to draw him. So once he left, another family came on the subway and they sat right in front of me. D and his family came on. D sat directly in front of me, and I was like, oh, that's a great shaped hat. He has a great face to draw, but his family was right there, and I'm quite shy when it comes to drawing in front of groups of people, but my urge to draw him overcame my anxiety and shyness, and I drew D. And I knew that there would be a high chance of getting caught. And I was caught. His son and daughter caught on, and on the pretense of coming over to look at a subway map to my right, they snuck peeks at my drawing of their dad, and they quickly ran over to their dad and informed him that I was drawing him. And so the game was up. I showed the drawing to D and his family, and they really liked it. And they took a picture of it, so I'll post it in the screen here of D and his drawing. And the last drawing, again, working in perspective, I'll zoom out. Oh, that's the other way. So this is my quote-unquote studio area. There's a small hallway leading into this big, small area, open area, where I do my art. I like this drawing for the simple fact that there's this contrast. There's an open area wall space, and then there's a cluttered hallway space, and I like filling in stuff, as you know, with a lot of marks. And then I was kind of anxious about leaving this side empty, but that's the reality of it. There's a big empty wall here, so I couldn't do stuff in this drawing that isn't there, except for this extension arm to my tripod. And I think it worked out quite well. I like the shadow work. I like how it makes this area alive and makes this whole drawing alive by having this dark to light contrast. So that's it, my friends. Thank you for joining me for week number 44. Wow. I hope you had a great week. I hope you will have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.